The world as I knew it ended in a classroom. The droning voice of Mr. Henderson was abruptly cut short by a scream from the hallway, sound that ripped through the mundane Monday morning like a jagged piece of glass. Then chaos erupted. It wasn't just a scream, it was a chorus of terror, a symphony of the damned. I remember the look on Sarah's face, her eyes wide with a confusion that mirrored my own. We all looked at the door, expecting a fire drill, a prank, anything but the truth. The truth shuffled in moments later, its eyes milky white, a trail of dark fluid leaking from its mouth. It was Mrs. Davison, the librarian, or what was left of her. My first instinct wasn't heroism, it was pure, unadulterated fear. A primal urge to survive that I never knew I possessed. I grabbed the heaviest thing I could find, a thick history textbook, and slammed it into her head. The thud was sickening, but it bought me a precious second. "Run," I screamed, not to anyone in particular, but to the living. The classroom became a blur of flailing limbs and terrified shrieks. I vaulted over a desk, shoving past paralyzed students, my heart pounding a frantic rhythm against my ribs. I didn't look back. I couldn't. The hallways were a nightmare. Bodies, both still and moving, littered the floor. The air was thick with the coppery smell of blood and something else, something foul and decaying. I ran, I dodged grasping hands and dodged lunging figures that were once my classmates. My destination was the sports field, the only open space I could think of. The double doors were just ahead. I put on a burst of speed, my lungs burning, and burst through them, the sudden sunlight blinding me for a moment. The field was supposed to be a sanctuary, but it was just a bigger cage. The fence was swarmed. Dozens, maybe hundreds of them were pressing against the chain link, their groans a constant, horrifying hum. I spotted an old oak tree near the edge of the field, its thick branches reaching out like a lifeline. It was my only chance. I sprinted towards it, the squelch of the grass under my sneakers punctuated by the groans of the things chasing me. I felt a hand brush my ankle, and I kicked back wildly, a surge of adrenaline giving me the final push I needed. I leaped for the lowest branch, my fingers just barely catching hold. My muscles screamed as I pulled myself up, my shoes scraping against the bark. I didn't stop until I was several branches high, safely out of their reach. Below me, a sea of the undead gathered, their faces tilted up, their empty eyes fixed on me. They clawed at the trunk, a grotesque and futile effort. From my perch, I could see the whole school, the chaos unfolding in horrifying detail. And then I saw the school bus. It was parked near the exit, its yellow paint a beacon of false hope in this gray, dying world. The roof of the bus. If I could get to it, maybe I could get over the fence. It was a long jump, a stupidly long jump. But staying in the tree was just delaying the inevitable. I took a deep breath, trying to calm the frantic beating of my heart. I measured the distance, took a running start along the thick branch, and leaped. For a terrifying second, I was suspended in midair, the groaning horde below me, the world a dizzying swirl. I landed hard on the metal roof, the impact jarring my teeth and sending a shockwave up my legs. But I was on it. I had made it. I crawled to the edge of the roof, peering over the fence. Freedom was just a few feet away. But as my eyes scanned the chaos beyond the school gates, my blood ran cold. I saw her, Mia. My Mia. She was standing there, amidst the shuffling crowd, her favorite blue hoodie stained with something dark. Her head was tilted at an unnatural angle, her movements jerky and uncoordinated. Our eyes met, or at least I thought they did. But there was no recognition in her gaze, only that same milky, vacant emptiness. A sob escaped my lips, a raw, guttural sound of pure anguish. It was a pain so profound it felt like a physical blow, knocking the air from my lungs. I wanted to scream her name, to run to her, to hold her, to do something, anything. But there was nothing I could do. The girl I loved, the girl I had planned a future with, was gone. She was one of them. That realization was a heavier weight than any zombie. It was a weight on my soul. Part of me died on that bus roof, looking at the shell of the person who meant everything to me. I had to turn away. I had to force myself to look forward, towards the street, towards the unknown. The mall, that was the plan. Survival. It was a hollow word now, stripped of all its meaning. What was the point of surviving in a world where Mia was gone? But that primal instinct, the one that made me run from the classroom, it was still there. It whispered to me, pushing me, telling me to move. For her, for the memory of her. I couldn't let her become just another forgotten victim. I had to live. I had to survive. For both of us. With tears streaming down my face, I jumped from the bus, landing on the other side of the fence. I was out. I was free, but I had never felt more trapped. The road to the mall stretched out before me, a long, dangerous path. Every step would be a battle, every moment a test. I didn't know if I had the strength, but I had to try. For Mia, I took a shaky breath, wiped the tears from my eyes, and started walking into my new, horrifying reality. My journey for survival had just begun. Thank you for watching, and if you want to see what happens next, make sure to subscribe.